Hey, I get it when you're about to spend a serious chunk of cash on a storage device for your media workflow. There's that little voice in your head asking, am I really getting the right fit for my needs? I've been there, scrolling through endless product pages, watching demo reels, and trying to picture how a piece of gear will actually sit in my rack and behave when the pressure's on. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So before you click buy, let's walk through why the Blackmagic Design Cloud Store Mini 8TB might be the quiet workhorse you need or why it could end up gathering dust. First off, the Cloud Store Mini is built for people who already know they need a networked storage solution that can keep up with high-resolution, high-bitrate footage. If you're editing 12K Blackmagic RAW from a cinema camera, you've probably felt the lag when you try to pull a clip off a standard NAS and it stalls at 2 GB per second. Or you've watched your timeline jitter because the drive can't feed the data fast enough. That's the exact scenario this box aims to solve. It's not a consumer-grade external SSD, it's a rack-mountable array that lives in the same network closet as your edit suites, switch, and render farm. The hardware inside is an array of 4 flash memory cards working together in parallel. What that means in practice is you get sustained throughput that can handle those massive 12K RAW files without choking. In a real-world shoot I followed, the crew was ingesting 2-hour reels of 12K footage onto the Cloud Store Mini while simultaneously sending proxy copies to a separate server for on-set editing. The transfer never stalled, and the team didn't have to pause for disk-full warnings. That parallel flash design also gives you a built-in redundancy level. If one card starts to degrade, the others keep the data flowing, which is a huge peace-of-mind factor when you're dealing with multi-gigabyte frames. Another practical benefit is the dual-port networking. The unit comes with a 10 gigabit Ethernet port and a 1 gigabit port that double as a 2-port network switch. For a small post-production shop that doesn't want to add a separate switch to the rack, this is a tidy solution. You can plug your editing workstation into the 10 GBE side for raw file access, while a secondary machine may be a color grading station that only needs a fraction of that bandwidth taps into the 1 GBE port. The built-in switch handles the traffic routing without you having to buy another piece of hardware, saving both space and cable clutter. Now, let's talk about the physical footprint. The Cloud Store Mini's compact rack mount design means it slides into a standard 19-inch rack without taking up a full height. If your rack is already crowded with monitors, audio interfaces, and a few other servers, this unit squeezes in like a puzzle piece. That's a real advantage for freelancers or boutique facilities where every rack unit counts. The front panel is minimalist, with a single status LED that tells you at a glance whether the array is healthy, which is useful when you're juggling multiple drives and need quick visual confirmation without digging into software. So, who should consider adding this to their workflow? If you're a professional cinematographer, a post-production house that regularly handles 8K or higher footage, or a broadcast environment where you need a reliable, high-throughput shared storage pool, the Cloud Store Mini checks a lot of boxes. It's also a solid fit for a small studio that wants to future-proof its storage without committing to a massive enterprise array. The fact that it can handle the biggest raw files out there now means you won't have to upgrade again when you move to the next generation of cameras. On the other side, if your day-to-day work revolves around 1080p or 4K proxies, or you're a hobbyist who mostly edits footage on a laptop, you're probably paying for performance you'll never fully use. The 10 GBE capability, while impressive, requires you to have compatible networking gear. If your switch or workstation only speaks 1 GBE, you're not getting the full speed advantage, and the extra cost may feel unnecessary. Similarly, if you're looking for a simple backup drive for personal projects, a standard external SSD or a more affordable NAS would make more sense financially. Let's get into some practical strengths that show up once you have the unit up and running. The first is latency. When you pull a clip from the Cloud Store Mini over 10 GBE, the delay before playback starts is almost imperceptible. That's not just a nice have, it translates directly into smoother editing sessions, especially when you're scrubbing through high frame rate footage. The second strength is scalability. While the 8 TB model is a generous amount for most projects, The architecture allows you to add more storage later by swapping in higher capacity flash cards, so you can grow the pool without replacing the entire chassis. Lastly, the built-in switch simplifies cabling. In a cramped rack, reducing the number of external switches by one can prevent accidental unplugging and make troubleshooting faster. No,